During a tense hearing on Oahu on February 12th, testifiers expressed nearly universal opposition to SB 3090, a bill that proposes to overturn the current University of Hawaii-based management of Mauna Kea, replacing it with a new Mauna Kea Management Authority. The hearing was also an intersection of three separate and discrete processes seeking to envision a future for Mauna Kea and de-escalate the conflicts. Foremost at the hearing was mention of an AHA convened in East Hawaii. We first reported on the gathering, which was kept under the radar in December. Participants, which included lawmakers like Senator Kai Kahele, as well as protectors, astronomy supporters, and UH officials, adhered to a strict ILIK process of collaborative consensus making. But consensus on legislation like Senate Bill 3090 was not reached. Testifiers who participated in the AHA let the Hilo senator know they were disappointed the bill was introduced.
For me, it's all about the process. I sit on an AHA board. Back home, there is an AHA where Big Island people sit down, Hawaiians talking to Hawaiians, trying to address. All this all the time when we had this, trying to make communications. OM has continually tried to open communication dialogue. Due to the legal matters that we're facing in court, we cannot talk story, we cannot kuka. The AHA was the first opportunity we had to sit down without legal beagles in the room and let our hair down and talk about issues that is important to us that facing the MAUNA up on the mountain. First time without legal beagles. And then this process circumvented that and sent this bill into the to the Senate without the AHA's approval, without the AHA's feedback, without more community input. There was a lot of good recommendations coming in to the AHA that should have been taken into consideration before coming here. Now we're going to air our dirty laundry here.
You know, I know we've been through so much Mauna Kea stuff here. There are very few things that Mr. Ishibashi and myself agree on, but I would say that in this, I very much support what I'm hearing from him and others, that consent, that consensus is of ultimate importance, and I encourage you to please take this bill, put it aside, stop this particular attempt, and go back to that place where movement went forward without that consent. Go back there and build that true consensus. You are doing very well. Please continue.
Thank you. Mahalo.
But there are other efforts regarding the future of the mountain. For example, the university endorsed Envision Mauna Kea, supported by charitable contributions from observatories, which got underway a few years ago with facilitated listening sessions.
Envision Mauna Kea is really a process that began probably more than a year ago with several people who were observing the interactions and conversations related to Mauna Kea and really feeling a need to be able to change the tenor of the conversation and to also broaden the perspectives, because there are a lot of different uses in Mauna Kea.
And I appreciate you mentioning those opportunities we had on the Big Island to meet, but there's another group that actually is an official group that trying to do the same thing, Envision Mauna Kea. And I commend their efforts. Why, or are the individuals that are participating in our AHA, or the ones that we had, why don't they participate in Envision Mauna Kea if we're trying to kuka and collaborate?
I'm going to say that from what I have heard, Senator Kahele, I think that your process thus far, other than this bill, has been far more pono and in many ways. And because it's very much built on Ailike and building consensus and cultural respect.
There is also the effort being undertaken by Hawaii County Mayor Harry Kim, which has the support of Governor David Ige.
Mauna Kea to be a model of how the people of the world can live together in harmony.
Mayor Kim testified at the Senate committee hearing on February 12th.
The vision is to begin by convening a core group representing different interests and expertise to provide direction and guidance. And as I've stated, I just about completed identification at core group and talking to them individually. What do we seek on the initiatives? To review and reorganize the management authority to implement this vision. Establish Mauna Kea as a national and international monument of global significance. Create educational programs that feature the special characteristics of Mauna Kea in astronomy, geology, and biology. When you talked about the advisory committee that you've been tasked to form, and I do commend you for the challenge that you have taken on and the collaborative nature that you've tried to work with many people. But in that article, and I want to read this quote, and this is where we need clarification on. It says, as for the committee, its goals, according to a printout Kim provided the Tribune Herald, will be to review and organize the Mountains Management Authority currently on the University of Hawaii. Can you clarify that statement, please? Anytime you are assigned to take a look at something to hopefully fix and make better, I don't care what size it is or complex as this is, of management practices, you do not make changes before you go in and have a total review of what the problem is. Any changes to the current management structure outside of what currently exists today would require legislation by this legislature? I'm not the one to answer that question because of your words of all of, except for. I do know this, some of it will. This is what I hope for now. If I think I do my job right, is to have established a very good relationship and dialogue of trust between members of the community.